Hello and welcome to the Virtual College Exploration. The Virtual College Exploration is hosted in partnership with Indiana Association of College Admission Counseling and StriveScan. We are so excited that you have joined us this afternoon. Have a great session in store for you. But first, want to share a couple of housekeeping notes. So along the bottom of your screen, you should see a small Q&A button. You can see it here on the screen. If you have questions throughout the presentation, please put your questions in there. Your camera and your microphone are off, so we will not be able to hear or see you. So the only way we'll be able to hear from you will be by submitting questions in that Q&A. So again, please list us throughout and the presenters will be able to answer those. This is the second week of our virtual college exploration, so we would encourage you to sign up for additional sessions if you're interested. We'll have sessions throughout the rest of this week as well as next week. And then today's session, along with all of our other sessions, will be recorded. So if you have to hop off early or miss a certain part, you'll be able to access the recording and sign up for additional sessions online at inacac.org. So definitely encourage you to do that. And with that, I will turn it over to our presenters. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Give me just a second to share my screen here. All right, so just to begin, I'll introduce the crew we have here. My name is Gavin Halpin, and I am a St. Louis regional recruiter for Millikin University. So I'm not on our campus located in Decatur, Illinois. I recruit with the students within the state of Missouri, mainly focused in the St. Louis area, but also two colleagues from Millikin's office are on this today. Lauren Bartell, who is another one of our regionals, works with students in the Chicagoland area, specifically South Chicago, and also Morgan Vogels, who is your contact for students within the state of Indiana. She also recruits some of our more central and eastern Illinois territory. We also have two students that will kind of provide a day in the life and then an opportunity for any Q&As at the end in Bre and Colin. So we'll go ahead and get started. So to begin, I think it's important to always highlight where we are located, where truly is Millikin University. So we are in Decatur, Illinois. As I mentioned previously, that's a central Illinois area. If you were looking at the state of Illinois map, I always say if you threw a dart at the dead center and just went a smidge to the right from that dart, you would be in Decatur, Illinois. It's the pride of the prairie is what it's known for. So I think it's important to tell you that it is a little bit more of a rural setting depending upon the area that you're coming from. So for students specifically maybe in the Indy area that are used to a larger metro area, traveling in, you're going to be driving through more of an ag type scene and all the way into Decatur, it's going to appear like that. But the surrounding area of Decatur is about 70,000 individuals. So there is a multitude of things to do. Again, it's just a matter of your preferences of what you're looking to do. But there are entertainment options, there are shopping options, there are great restaurant options. It's just a matter, again, of you becoming accustomed to the environment. We have a great working relationship between our campus community and the individual town of Decatur. So it's not uncommon for members of the community to be seen on campus for athletic events, for entertainment events in the form of either plays or musicals or lectures on campus, but also vice versa. Our students, our faculty, and our staff are calling Decatur home while they are with us. And it's something that they are seen out and about within the community. And later on, you will hear several opportunities in regards to student-run ventures that we have that take place within Decatur. So it's not uncommon to see students and faculty and staff and our administration interacting in our Main Street community at several of our student-run ventures. So I always like to highlight that, but a great working relationship on both sides. Just to give you a quick snapshot, I think this does a good job of breaking down, kind of giving you just the quick facts when it comes to Millikin University. So we are that small private liberal arts-based institution with 2,000 total students. I won't read all of these to you, but I'll highlight ones that I think are important. So you see that bottom left being a student-faculty ratio of 10 to 1, and then our average class size is 16 students. What do those statistics truly mean for you as a student at Millikin? They mean that you're going to be known for yourself. I know that if you've looked at other small schools, that's something that you've heard is that you're going to be more than just an individual number. You're going to be known as a student. You're going to be known as your name. And that's definitely true on Millikin's campus. But the thing that I think separates us from other smaller schools is our focus on getting to know what else you want to do after your time at Millikin. So yes, we want to get to know you. We want to support you in whatever else you're doing on campus, but we also want to make sure that if you want to go on to that grad school, that you're as prepared as possible for that. You are guided throughout your search. We also want to make sure that, let's say you don't want to go on to grad school, you want to jump right into your career of choice, that you're prepared to do so. So there's a great professional preparedness that takes place across Millikin's campus that I think is really important to know. Another opportunity I'll highlight here is that 99.4% grad success rate. So for the previous class that had graduated, the data that they provided us within 6 months of them completing their degree, 99.4% of that class was either within graduate school or within the job of their choice. So something that I think just really highlights the preparedness that we are giving our students. So for them to, from day one, feel comfortable to ask their professors questions, not TAs, and then that continues throughout their time of them feeling comfortable having the discussion about what internship would be great, or do you have an recent alum that is within this grad school that I can have a conversation with. Those discussions happen early and often on Millikin's campus, which I think helps really be highlighted by that grad success rate. We also have a multitude of student opportunities involvement-wise across campus, 50+ academic programs. We're a Division III institution, and over 90+ student organizations across campus. And you'll hear a little bit more of the breakdown of those different types of involvement opportunities as we go forward in this presentation. But at this point in time, with that 50+ academic programs across campus, I'm going to turn it over to my colleague, Lauren, who will speak a little bit more of the breakdown within those academic programs.
Awesome. Thanks, Gav. So like Gavin said, we have over 50 academic majors at Millikin. These are all split up into 4 colleges and schools. That's just kind of a way that we organize the majors and that we are able to kind of house those in the different areas. You can read them across the screen. They're the College of Arts and Sciences, College of Fine Arts, College of Professional Studies, and the Tabor School of Business. Your major will be housed in one of these areas, but you will be taking classes across the board. So you will not be, pigeonholed into your one major's college. You'll be able to take courses and will be required to take courses across the board to get a well-rounded education. The first one I want to break down a little bit more is the College of Arts and Sciences. So this is where I like to think a lot of the traditional school subjects are housed. So we're talking about science, English, math, psychology, all of those are housed under this college. One cool area to highlight is if you are interested in science, we have super updated lab equipment that most other small schools our size don't have access to. So if you're looking for hands-on in the sciences, maybe you want to go into the healthcare field or you want to go in to do further research in the sciences, we do have a lot of opportunities for you there. And in general, I think if you major in the College of Arts and Sciences, your advisors and professors are able to work with you to customize your degree to your interests. Just as an example, I was a math major at Millikin. I graduated in 2018, and I knew that I was interested in math and business as well. So my professors were able to work with me to still get my math degree, but also get a minor in the business school as well and work with math and business. So the professors are really good at making sure that what you're studying lines up with your interests and where you want to end up after you graduate, like Gavin was mentioning. The next college I want to look at is the College of Fine Arts. So this is one of the areas that Millikin is most well known for. About 30% of our students are in the College of Fine Arts. So that is one of our biggest campus populations and definitely a part of our campus culture. Theater is probably our most popular and most well known of the fine arts. We do offer a BFA and BA degrees in musical theater, acting, design and production, all different areas of theater. And we are known across the country for our theater program. It allows you to get that national level recognition when you're talking about finding jobs and things post-college while not having to leave the Midwest for school. So it's nice to get that small school feel in the Midwest, but be known across the country for your theater degree. As far as music goes, music education is probably our most popular major, but we have everything from performing to producing. So if any area of music interests you, we probably have something that lines up with that. And then finally, art is housed under the fine arts as well. well. One unique thing that Millikin can offer is that we actually have an art therapy degree at the bachelor's level. We're one of the only undergraduate art therapy degrees that's offered. Most schools, you won't even see art therapy with your degree until you go to graduate school, but Millikin does have that as an undergraduate option. And then one last unique art major that we have is called Arts Technology. It's unique that it brings together art and technology. So if you're interested in creating in the art space, but more on technology rather than by hand, this would be for you. There's different concentrations such as audio engineering, animation, live events, video production. So you get to focus on what area you want to study with that as well. The next one is College of Professional Studies. These are majors that kind of have that set career at the end, like teaching, nursing, athletic training, all of those things that are pretty, you know what your career is going to be at the end. For our athletic training and exercise science majors, we have a brand new facility that just opened a year or two ago. It has a lot of space for our students to conduct their labs, maybe write workouts and test them, things like that. And then all of their classrooms are housed in that brand new building as well. It's really nice and new and redone. And then nursing is one of our programs that we are well known for as well outside of the fine arts. We do have direct entry into nursing, so you're able to directly get admitted into that program. And we do have 2 major hospitals in Decatur that our nursing students are able to work with and do their clinical hours at. So we have a really good relationship with those hospitals as well. The final school at Millikin is our Tabor School of Business. We have a wide variety of business majors, 8 altogether. We do have a dedicated internship coordinator for our business students. So when you're thinking about finding those opportunities to do internships during the school year or over the summer, or even, opportunities after graduation, the business school does have their own dedicated internship coordinator. All of our business students are required to take an internship before they graduate, just because it's an area that real world experience can really set you apart when you're going to find a job. All of our business students do take a business creation class their first year at Millikin. They partner with 3 other students in their class, and they're able to create a business completely from scratch. So they're doing the marketing, the planning, the finances of it all, and you really get a good in-depth look at what all goes into a business. And along that same line, we also offer student-run ventures, which are student-run businesses that our business majors are required to participate in as well. And that is something that Morgan can talk a little bit more about as she talks to you guys a bit more about campus life at Millikin and what all we have to offer.
Thanks, Lauren. So piggybacking off of what Lauren said, these student-run ventures don't only touch on the business side of things, but as you can see, there are also some that are fine arts related for students who are maybe interested in like music business, or in potentially our arts administration majors where they would be learning how to open up their own dance studio or art studio or something along those lines for those students. But as far as business goes, it's all of the pieces of business, whether that be the financials, the management, the marketing. Our Millikin students are getting to make real life business decisions for a real life business that's making real money. That's with the help of a faculty member who will kind of walk them through the process and make sure that they are going to be making good decisions for the business. But it's just that performance learning aspect and helping students to build confidence, build a comfort level, and also build their resume of saying, hey, my 4 years at Millikin, I was involved in maybe our student-run coffee shop, the Blue Brew, where students are, again, making those decisions for that real-life coffee shop that services not only members of the campus community, but also the Decatur community. Or maybe worked for our performance consulting firm called MU Performance Consulting, which Lauren actually was a part of in her time at Millikin, helping companies, whether they be local or on campus, with improving their web design, their website, their efficiency as far as getting data from customers or anything along those lines. Along with that, there are plenty of things to be involved in on campus. We have over 90 student organizations, as Gavin mentioned, with a variety of different interests in mind for students. So those could be fine arts related, like our ensembles, whether those be instrumental or vocal. We do also have quite a few honors associations, as well as just some kind of special interest groups that you could potentially be involved in, as well as the University Center Board, which I think is pretty cool as well, because it sort of brings in the idea of performance learning, whereas those students are helping with programming on campus. So maybe hosting a bingo night or planning that bingo night or a movie night. They also get to work with an act for our big event. So the big event happens every other year. And when that happens, these students are looking to see what performer could we potentially have on campus, who's in our price range, and then they work on the details of the venue, of the timing, and all of that. So just for example, some of the acts that we've had in years past are Waka Flocka Flame and T-Pain. So I think that's a pretty fun thing as well, because for students who are maybe interested in potentially doing event planning, that's a great opportunity for them to get involved. There are also some paraprofessional roles on campus, which you'll hear about those a little bit more from our students, who will be showing you a day in their life in just a little bit. But those include being a first-year experience mentor, which is someone who helps freshmen transition from high school to college, goes to them with their entire group of probably 16 to 18 kids to 2 of their classes during their first semester, and also helps walk them through Welcome Week, which is the week before school starts, as well as resident assistants and peer mentors who are an academic resource on each floor for our freshman students. In addition to all of those organizations, we do also have Greek life on campus. About 30% of our student body will be involved in our Greek organizations. So instead of like at a bigger university where they start the rush process right away, Millikin does a deferred recruitment process where instead of the first semester, it's your second semester of time at Millikin. That way you have some time to get a little bit of college under your belt, figure out if one of these organizations is something that you are extremely interested in. So we have 5 fraternities and 6 sororities on campus. Of them, 2 of the fraternities do have houses on campus, and 3 of the sororities do. They are very dedicated to service. So just for instance, Tri Delta is one of our sororities on campus. They're affiliated with the Philanthropy St. Jude. Those women are very dedicated to helping out St. Jude as far as like fundraising, as well as potentially taking a trip down there to the hospital and getting to kind of see how they're helping to impact those children's lives. Another big piece of our student body is athletics. So within our athletic community, we have 23 different Division III sports in the NCAA, and we participate in the College Conference of Illinois and Wisconsin. So we're the furthest south. Illinois Wesleyan is just an hour from us. And then it's quite a few schools up in the Chicagoland area, as well as 2 schools up in southern Wisconsin. But about 40% of our student body participates in athletics. Of those, a couple of newer sports have just been added, including men's volleyball and women's triathlon. If you have played sports in high school but are thinking maybe you wouldn't like to continue those competitively at the college level, you could also become involved in our intramural associations. Those are another great opportunity for performance learning because they are run by our sports management majors on campus who, again, kind of like with the event planning, are maybe students who would be interested in doing like working for a park district, coordinating leagues for like slow pitch softball and kickball, or maybe working for a YMCA or something along those lines. And they are in charge of coordinating those leagues to the point of finding a space, making sure they have enough teams, referees, and then also building a schedule. We do also have a cheerleading squad and a dance team on campus for students who are interested in participating in one of those. The last thing I think from me before I turn it back over to Gavin is studying abroad. Millikin has a robust study abroad program, as you can see from the right side of the graphic. We have 53 partner universities in 22 different countries. So what that means is those partner universities are basically like a tuition exchange. So whatever your cost would be at Millikin for tuition will transfer over to that university during your stay in another country. The only other costs that you would be responsible for are housing, food, and anything else you would want to buy over in that other country. For studying abroad, there are 2 separate options. The first one is what you would normally think of, a full semester abroad, to where you are living in another country, attending a different university. But if you are maybe not sold on spending an entire semester, you can also participate in one of our immersion courses. Those happen the first couple weeks in January or one of the last couple weeks in May, so between semesters, and there's normally a class associated with it. So we have had students in the sciences go and do some research in another country. We've had students go to London for the purpose of learning about sports in the UK. So there's lots of different options there as well. And for a student that maybe has a more difficult major, such as nursing, to where maybe it isn't the best idea to study abroad a full semester, you can still be able to experience some of that and being in another country. For those, we do have quite a few financial aid, scholarship, and grant opportunities, so that way cost is never a factor in keeping you from being able to study abroad.
Thanks, Morgan. All right, so next we want to highlight just kind of 3 random alums at this point. And this is a part that I always, again, thinking of what's distinctive about our institution. Yes, we've mentioned Lauren in highlighting the academic areas. We are well known for our College of Fine Arts, specifically that School of Theater and Dance. And we could just sit here and show you theater and dance alums from the last 60 plus years over and over. But here we are highlighting 3 kind of more recent and diverse alums as far as the fields that they are in and the fields that they studied at Millikin. So to start, we'll highlight there on the left side, A.D. Carson, class of 2004, went on to become the first hip hop professor at the University of Virginia, using hip hop as the medium for discussing social justice. So combining an area of expertise and an area of passion to kind of blaze his own trail is something that we are encouraging most of our students to take on. Secondly, there in the middle, Peyton Burton, class of 2018, accepted a position as an area manager with Amazon.com Inc., one of the top 10 most powerful companies before she had even graduated. So again, in discussing the career focus that we have for our students, it's not uncommon for them to begin their senior year and to already have maybe a couple offers, or by the time graduation rolls around, to have accepted an offer, which is something that is fantastic for all parties involved to not have as much stress in that process. And then finally, we'll highlight Joel Kim Booster, a class of 2010, made his late night debut on Late Night with Conan. And if you type in his name on YouTube, you can see some of his stand-up routines. You can see several of his IMDb credits in different pilot shows and a variety of different kind of movie roles. That's something that will continue to grow, as he is a very funny individual. But again, we could highlight, and most schools do, alums. It's not uncommon to see alum from 1965, an alum from 1970. Here are 3 alums that we're very proud of that are within the last 20 years that are doing great work in not just the fine arts. So that's something that I think is important to highlight. So if any and all of that sounded at all appealing to you, the next step, if you were a senior, would be to just take on that application process. So we have 2 different ways that you can apply. If you just go to millikin.edu/apply, or just go to millikin.edu and click on our apply link, that's one, just for our individual institutional application. Then we're also a member of the Common App. So if you know that you're going to apply for a handful of schools and they are all on the Common App, then go ahead and check our box as well, and we'll receive your information. We have gone test optional for the next 2 years. That's something that may get revisited if you are for sure an underclassman, just to keep you on your toes. Truly, all we need are your high school transcripts. If you want to submit any other materials, you're welcome to. Just know that they are not required unless you are at that 275 or below. Then there will be some additional steps to take on. But that test optional piece also goes within our scholarship process. So there may be separate applications for institutional scholarships that may require an essay or a writing sample or an activities resume, but we do not need to see the test scores for those other processes. So it's always important to highlight that. But at this time, I'd like if Bre could maybe unmute herself and show herself and just briefly say major and maybe 2 things you're involved in, and then we'll start your video.
Awesome. Yeah. So like Gavin said, my name is Brie Johnson, and I'm a senior elementary education major with a special education endorsement. And then here on Millikin's campus, I serve as a first-year experience mentor, which I'll talk a little bit about in my video. And I'm also the current chapter president for one of the sororities here on campus, Tri Delta.
Awesome. Thanks, Brie. So both students here will have an opportunity to answer any and all questions you may have at the end after we've seen these videos.
Hi everyone, my name is Bre Johnson and I'm a senior here at Millikin University, and today I'm going to take you through a day in my life. So on Tuesdays I begin my day at 6:45 and I start by getting ready and just looking at my planner and seeing what I have today and what I need to get done. Today was a little different because my 8 a.m. seminar class got canceled. This seminar class is with first year students as I serve as a first year experience mentor. This position allows me to get to know the first year students, teach them student success topics, and become their first friend on campus. However, since today was canceled, my friends and I of course celebrated by going to Starbucks, so that is what you will see here. After we got back, I logged on to one of my classes. I am currently a senior studying elementary education with a special education endorsement, and this semester the majority of my classes are online, and for this class specifically we do meet on Zoom twice a week for about an hour and a half. After class, I head to work at Millikin's Office of Admission. Being a student worker on campus is super fun as I get to do things like film this video, be on student panels, and give campus tours to prospective and incoming students. Another perk is I get to do homework while I'm in the office, so here you'll see I'm working on submitting a midterm for one of my special education endorsement classes. After work, my roommates and I headed to the park near campus. Hi everyone, so now we're here at Fairview Park with a few of my friends, Bailey and Sarah. Fairview Park is right down the road from campus, so it's a nice little park to walk around, get some fresh air in between classes, and get outside. After taking a quick break, I headed back to my sorority and headed to our study room to get some more work done. Being a student at Millikin has provided me with so many opportunities, and as an elementary education major, I've been in schools each semester, and currently I am prepping my teaching portfolio, as you will see, attending lectures and just taking notes. While I work on homework, I do like to take some breaks and answer emails and work on things for my sorority, as I am the current chapter president of Tri Delta. Being a leader on campus has been one of the best opportunities I've been provided with here at Millikin, and whether you have opportunities such as that or performance learning internships, they will definitely prepare you for life after college. After working on homework, my roommate and I grabbed some dinner. Here at Tri Delta, we do have a chef, but all students, of course, have the option of using Millikin's dining services as well. So after dinner, I just headed back to the study room to finish up some more assignments, work on another midterm, and just attend a lecture. Usually most of my nights, I'm either attending an event for my sorority or just catching up on assignments and lectures as well. So after studying, I just ended the night hanging out with a few of my sorority sisters and roommates. I hope you guys enjoyed seeing what a day in the life here is like here at Millikin University. Thanks for watching.
Awesome. Colin, if you could show yourself and unmute yourself and just kind of briefly say your name, major, and maybe 2 things you're involved in.
Yeah. Hey guys, my name is Colin Krakviewski. I'm a senior finance major here at Millikin. Most of my time is dedicated to the res halls. I'm a senior resident assistant, which means I'm kind of like the RA of the RAs. I've been living in the halls for 4 years now, so I help people out with all the different res hall related things, whether that's like getting light bulbs changed or helping you out with roommate disagreements or whatever. And I'm also the chaplain of Alpha Tau Omega, one of our fraternities here on campus. So like Brie, I'm pretty heavily involved in Greek life as well.
Awesome. Thank you. So again, Colin will join Brie for the opportunity to provide any deeper answers you're seeking after we see his day.
Hey guys, my name is Colin Krakviewski. I am a senior finance major here at Millikin University, and I'm going to be walking you guys through a day in my life on campus.
Like many people, my day starts off the same every day, with a cup of coffee. I go through more K-cups than I could count in a week, and that's not all. I usually have at least 1 cup of coffee before I even leave for class and take a thermos with me when I go. We do have 2 different coffee options on campus. We've got a Common Grounds and an Einstein Bros. So if I run out of coffee halfway through the day, I'm always stopping by one of our campus coffee spots to refill. And every once in a while, I do make my way over to the Starbucks here in town, but I typically like to just stick with the homebrewed stuff if at all possible. I definitely would not be able to make it through all of my classes and activities without hot coffee all day long.
A lot of walking in during the day. Most of my travel comes via the skateboard. As you can see, I've just had to put in some maintenance on it because over the past 4 years, this guy has gotten a lot of use. We have an ADA accessible campus here, which means anything you use with wheels is definitely going to be supported. Nice wide sidewalks, very little stairs. So if you're someone that's into skateboarding or bicycling or even rollerblades, definitely would recommend it for your trip to college. So as most of our classes are online, I actually spend a good chunk of my time right here at the command station. I have Zoom class at least 4 days a week. Most of my meetings are held on here, and then this is also where I play video games. So I went ahead and got myself a podcast mic and a little webcam so that I can just take care of all my stuff right from my desk. Secretly, one of the best spots on campus, the laundry rooms. All of our residence halls have laundry rooms in the basement. Ours has this nice little setup, whiteboard. I typically hang out down here while I'm waiting for my laundry to get done, try to crank out some homework, kill 2 birds with 1 stone.
I know you guys really appreciate pamphlets and websites and email blasts to figure out what college life is going to be like, but I hope this little behind-the-scenes look into how I spend some of my time during my day helps you get a better understanding of what you're going to be looking forward to. Thanks for following me along.
Awesome. Love seeing this. Seeing an example of what our students are doing each and every day. So that's it for our true PowerPoint side of things. As we mentioned at the beginning, for students in Indiana, Morgan Vogels will be a contact for you. So we have provided a phone and email for her to be reached at if you want to reach out to her. She'd love to help you throughout any stage in the admission process. I'll leave that up for just a little bit longer. But if Colin and Bre, if you guys want to come back on, and to begin, I will have you take us back to your college search and what you were looking for in a school and maybe how you found that in Millikin. And Bre, if you want to start, that'd be great.
Yeah, so I'm actually from Decatur, Illinois, so I've kind of grown up on Millikin's campus since I was little. But one thing that really drew me to Millikin was the performance learning aspect, because really no matter what your major is, you're going to be involved very early on, which is not something you'll find at other schools. So for me personally, I was in an elementary school classroom 3 weeks into my first semester here, which is very unheard of to be put into the classroom that early. And ever since then, I've had an internship every year. And so it's really just going to set me apart here in the next semester whenever I start applying for jobs. But that was definitely kind of like the main focus for me, was just trying to get involved as much as I can, because prior to coming to Millikin, I didn't know what I wanted to study yet. And so without that internship very early on, I don't think I would have realized as soon as I did what I wanted to do.
Awesome. Same to you, Colin.
Yeah, for me, definitely it came down to the community aspect. I went to a really small high school, had a graduating class of 81, and I knew that I wanted to kind of bump that up just a little bit and not attend like an itty bitty little college, but I also didn't want to go to like a massive state school with like 40,000 people. And on my first like campus visit, when I came to kind of just get the feel for Millikin and show up on campus, I met several faculty members, and I actually even met Shelby Baum, who is now like my boss at admissions. So I kind of like got a feel for stuff, and I just remembered how personal people were, and faculty were taking time to like sit down and talk with my parents and like get to know them and get to know like what I was interested in and how they could help me. And I just really felt like I was being cared for as a person, and that was really important to me. So that's why I had to choose Millikin.
We're glad both of you did in this case. For both of you that are interested in the Greek life side of things, could you highlight maybe just an opportunity I feel like things are always drastically different from a perception of what Greek life is like coming into college and then what you actually are doing. Could both of you maybe speak on opportunities that have become available to you in a multitude of ways in the Greek life opportunities that you guys are currently in?
I can go first with that one. I would definitely say that the biggest opportunity that Greek life has afforded to me was the ability to get involved in the Decatur community. I actually waited a little bit later. Millikin already defers our recruitment to second semester, but I waited even further and didn't join Greek life until late into my sophomore year. But in my first kind of early half of my time at Millikin, I was really involved on campus, but I had never really ventured into Decatur. I hadn't gotten involved in anything, and Greek life has afforded me the opportunity to like philanthropically get involved and kind of give back to some causes and spend some time kind of helping out the community, which I really appreciated.
Yeah, so before coming to Millikin, I knew that I wanted to be a part of Greek life. Whenever I got here, I was like, I don't know if I should do this or not. But it honestly was one of the best decisions, kind of like I mentioned in the video. I've gotten a ton of experience, even something as small as like talking in front of a big group of people, or hosting events or planning things. It's actually providing us with tools that we can use after college, and things that any major across the board can utilize in their careers as well.
Awesome. I think it's important to highlight from our current students what is a favorite place on campus, but also a favorite place in the Decatur community. So this could be place to go, do anything, eat, shop, just get some walking in. If you guys want to highlight both an on-campus place and a community place, that'd be great.
I think on campus is probably the University Commons, which is one of our newest buildings. It opened the first year Colin and I were here. And I think it's just because it's just a busy building filled with a ton of different things, whether there's events or tablings going on. There's a Starbucks in there, the dining hall, all of that. And then off campus, like I mentioned in the video, Fairview Park, we also have a ton of different like locally owned businesses and restaurants. And so downtown Decatur is like kind of walking distance from campus, 5 minutes away or so. So there's a ton of different like boutiques and restaurants down there. So that's kind of a favorite of mine.
I would definitely say my favorite place on campus is the res halls. I'm not 100% sure if I could pick a favorite just yet, but I have been living in the residence halls for 4 years now. And so I've spent a lot more time on campus than I even had like back at home with my parents. So I think the res halls are kind of like home for me. I don't know. I just definitely feel very calm and relaxed, and I can chill out whenever I get back at the end of the day. And my favorite place off campus is definitely Rock Springs Conservation Area. So we've talked a little bit about like Fairview Park, which is a park literally across the street from campus. But there's this bike trail that goes all the way through our park. And then at the end of the park, it becomes a conservation area. And then the bike trail goes on for another like 6 or 7 miles or something like that. And so there's just this massive area of like woods and little trails and creeks and lakes. And it's just kind of a hidden gem right off to the edge of Decatur that is really accessible from campus. So I really appreciate that. I'm an Eagle Scout, so I have to get outdoors like from time to time and just reconnect with nature. So I've definitely appreciated that in my time here.
Thank you. So in thinking of the examples of performance learning, and I know that it's important to both of you within your areas of expertise, is there a specific example that maybe hasn't been talked about that either you or a friend of yours is experiencing that you think is just so spectacular you want to share?
Yeah, definitely. I think my last year, I was able to participate in a class that we offer through Tabor called the Tabor Investment Portfolio class. And so about 10 years ago, the Millikin Board of Trustees actually dedicated $100,000 and set that aside for students to learn how to invest and manage a portfolio of securities. So our students will go on and purchase like kind of big name stocks. Like we have like, Microsoft and Amazon and Apple, but we can kind of like learn how the stock market works, learn how to analyze stocks and actually make decisions with that portfolio. And like, it's real money. You actually invest and decide what stocks need to go and what areas we need to work in. And at the end of that semester, you actually have to go back to the board and present on the decisions that you made, the performance that the portfolio has had over the course of the 6 months that you've been a manager of it. And so at the end of last year, I got to actually go up with about 4 of my classmates and give a 20-minute presentation to the board on kind of what we did with their money and how we think that we've done a good job. So I really felt like that set me up really well for my career going forward.
Yeah, and then my sister, she actually graduated from Millikin a few years ago, and she was in the Tabor School of Business, and there was a team of students that had to create a plan for a business in Ecuador, and my sister was a part of that team, and that business actually used their plan. They got paid for it, and this was a big business down there. And then another example is I do know a few people who are involved in both nursing and theater. And so that is an option at Millikin where you can kind of cross colleges like what Lauren was talking about earlier. And I think that's something, again, that you can't really get somewhere else. I mean, to be in the School of Nursing and then also in the School of Theater and Dance is kind of unheard of, but it works here at Millikin and you can be involved in both.
Thanks for that. So I'm going to stop showing Morgan's information there. And ask just kind of one final question for both of you that might be fun personally to hear kind of you guys thinking back to. So put on your heads if you're a junior or senior within high school. And knowing what you know now, is there any bit of advice that you think would have made your college search that much easier?
I think go somewhere that whenever you come on campus, it feels comfortable and it feels like home, because at the end of the day, you're going to be here for the next 4 years. And I know for me, it just felt comfortable being here on Millikin's campus. And because our professors are so involved in our classes and in our internships, they will stay with you for the rest of your 4 years here. I have professors that I had for one class first semester freshman year that still stay in touch with me. And so that community aspect is just really huge here at Millikin. And it's definitely something that I think draws a lot of students here too.
I think the biggest piece of advice I can give is please don't be tied down to your childhood dream when it comes to what you want to be when you grow up. You would be surprised how much personal growth and change that you're going to go through when you move out of your parents' house for the first time and you have to worry about making yourself breakfast, lunch, and dinner every day. And you got to get yourself up for classes and you got to make sure that your laundry's done and that you have time to turn everything in. And there's a lot that goes into that, and you're going to learn new things about yourself that you didn't know before. And so many people, and this isn't just a Millikin thing, but at every school, by the time they're a sophomore, they can't believe, they're like, oh, I thought I loved accounting and I just thought I was going to be a bookkeeper, and that's how it was going to go. So definitely make sure that you're open to the option that there's things you hadn't even considered before and that you might go through a change of heart and want to do something different. So definitely keep your options open. Focus on yourself, focus on, getting good grades, and let the major decide itself early in the road.
Thank you. You guys are both so wise at this point now. So at this point, really the Q&A is wrapping up, and we just want to thank you for joining us and thank you for watching and seeking information on Millikin. If we just want to hang tight briefly, StriveScan has just some follow-up reminders here that they want to share with us as well.
Wonderful. Thank you all so much. We're excited. Hope you enjoyed hearing from all those different people. Thank you again for being a part of our virtual college exploration. So as Gavin mentioned, a couple of quick finish up. So when you finish this session and close out the window, a very quick 4-question survey will pop up, and we would ask that you all complete that. And again, we would encourage you to sign up for more sessions. So if you enjoyed what you heard today, and want to rewatch it, you can you can watch the recording on the website, or you can sign up for additional sessions if you want to hear about what other institutions have to offer. All of those will be available online at inacac.org. But thank you again to our presenters and to the students who joined us, and thank you to you all for being here and learning more. Have a great evening. Thank you so much.